Representative Hahn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On this side, gentlemen. Good
yes,
afternoon. Thank you for testifying. Several years ago, I want to say maybe 15, time goes fast, there was federal dollars, I believe, that came through Labor and Industry. And then we had a veteran service coordinator that would come around to district offices. And those dollars went away, from what I know. So I don't think those are coming back. I haven't heard anything that those are coming back. But I see you have proposed an increase of $500,000 to enhance the current program for outreach. And even now, I know we have a service coordinator that comes in. I believe the American Legion sponsors that the person that comes in. So how many accredited veteran service organizations support the veterans across the Commonwealth? And do you have any idea of how many are being served?
Ma'am, we have a number of veteran service organizations that apply for the grants for the outreach. I believe we split that, I think, 5 or 6 ways? 6 ways. Six ways to different veterans organizations that have those programs. And those service officers are trained and accredited by our department. They join veteran service officers that are in our department as well as at the county levels to essentially create that recruiting force that goes out there to try to outreach. That money for outreach is extremely critical. If you look over the past few years, that has remained a constant. We have tried to add additional funds to that outreach. Essentially, if you look at the life of this program, if you go back to the beginnings, I believe around 7 or 8 years ago, we have been able to sign up 180,000 veterans using this program to connect them with their federal benefits. Those federal benefits that are now coming into Pennsylvania warrant essentially about $135 million just from this one program for those 180,000 people. So I mean that approaches what you fund us totally for our state budget. You know, just over 150-some million dollars, 135 million just from this program that are coming into veterans. So it's extremely critical. It's been a great investment type program. Last year's funds, essentially for every dollar we spent, we got $34 back in federal benefits to our veterans. And it's not coming to the department. It doesn't come to the state. It comes directly into our veterans' pockets. If you talk to Congressman Barrar, we had a hearing previously as our oversight hearing. The department testified, the State Veterans Commission testified, the State War Veterans Council testified. Every single one consecutively testified that this is an absolute high priority, that we be able to get this increase in funding for our outreach. If you look at how much money we give and we split it 6 ways, essentially over the last 4 years, that money's been stagnant, and that's what they're using to pay these veteran service officers. And they've been losing. They haven't been able to keep them because they'll get paid much more now at a county or at some other opportunity. So we need to keep essentially the worth of that money, that fund, going by increasing it. We haven't been able to keep up with the cost of living. So this has been the #1 priority of those veteran service organizations, those councils, those commissions. So that's why we're asking for your support for that.
And like I said, we have an officer who comes in every month, and we always have a waiting list, and they've helped a lot of veterans, so I thank you for that. It is an important program. Just quickly, a follow-up. When you were talking about the using county homes, do you have a pilot program, or are there any county homes that are doing that for you yet, or you're just looking into that?
Yeah, no, ma'am. We've been studying it. We've been looking and working with the federal VA about how this would work and how the money would change hands. We've not yet got to the point to selection, so we're still looking at homes. And as you can imagine, as the more homes that we look at, not every county home is exactly the same. So we have to look at what best fits. And then we'll have to do probably a follow-on study at some point to see where the greatest needs in the Commonwealth are to decide. But we're not at that point yet.
Great. Check out Northampton County when you're looking.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Chairman.